welcome to
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to
Everything entertainment.
And so, sis, you are up first this week. What you got?
Okay, so I want to talk about a classic.
Okay.
It's another remade classic, but I guess it just continues the story from before.
Okay.
This is something that was near and dear to my heart because it came out on the year I was born.
Okay.
And I want to talk about
and
I want to talk about the Karate Kid movie.
The Karate Kid?
The Karate
How
Kid
did that
movie.
come up?
There is a Karate Kid movie that is on Netflix.
It's a newer Karate Kid?
Yes.
Okay.
So you know how they have the TV show with the guy
Cobra Kai or something. What is it called?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Cobra Kai.
I never watched it.
So it's Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, okay.
Now you do have the original Karate Kid. I can't remember his name. Ralph Macchio.
Macchio.
Macchio. Macchio.
I can't remember how he says it, and when you started saying it, then it went out of my brain. So,
Ralph Macchio. I'm gonna go with that.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so he is in it. We also have the great and wonderful Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah, where's Jackie Chan been?
I think he's still been doing stuff, but
just not in America. We haven't seen him. Okay.
Yeah, we've been saying him, but other people have been.
Yeah.
And then you have Ben Wang, who plays the young man who is going to be the trainee. And he plays Lee Fong. Okay. Jackie Chan plays Mr. Han, who is actually Lee's uncle, his great uncle. You also have, when it comes to Ralph Macchio, whatever his name is, when it comes to him, he's actually brought in as a consultant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they fly to go see him and he becomes a consultant. And then you also have Ming-Na Wen, who plays Dr. Fong, who is Lee's mother. Now, everybody knows her. She was on the Joy Luck Club. She was on a whole bunch of different things. I want to say she was on Yeah. She was on a bunch of stuff. So you also have Joshua Jackson.
I'm trying to remember that name.
He was like the late 90s, early 2000s, like Dawson's Creek or something like that. Whatever he was on.
Okay.
Yeah. So you also have Joshua Jackson, who plays Victor Lipani, I'm guessing what I'm saying. Victor Lipani. And then he has a daughter who works with him and lives with him. Sadie Stanley is the actress, and she is Mia Lipani. So these are the main characters. You do have to have the a-hole who the young kid has to fight. So we already have Aramis Knight, who plays Connor, who is the guy who you have to basically fight with. But so let's get into it. It's the Karate Kid, but the fighting styles are the old school ways of Jackie Chan. So just imagine, how Jackie Chan fights in his older movies. He's falling into things, but then he's using that to then fight the people off.
He'll bounce back and come forward.
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
that fast and
Yeah,
quick.
yes.
Okay.
That is what
I like it.
That is what it is in this. So we have karate and kung fu together. Now Jackie Chan is the kung fu master.
Okay.
They're in China, right? So the movie starts off, they're in China.
Oh, okay.
You get the kung fu master. He's talking to the young kid. You don't know that the young kid is his uncle. But he's talking to the young kid, and he's just like, this is what you need to do. This would be good for you. Practice makes perfect. Don't let other people, get under your skin, whatever. And, I know that I'm sorry that your mother doesn't want you to fight, but there's her rules. She doesn't want you fighting anymore. So I'm trying to explain to her that it's to teach you discipline, but she's not getting that because what happened, his brother had passed away from fighting.
Oh, so no matter
And this,
what.
but this was a street fight.
Oh.
She was like, I've already lost one son. I can't lose another.
Can't lose two.
So now they are in, I'm guessing they're in China, in a very beautiful Zen garden looking place that you have a bunch of kids that are practicing Kung Fu. The mother comes and she's like, hey, I hope that you had a great time here with your uncle because we're moving to New York.
Oh,
New York? I think it's New York or LA. They're moving to the United States. So they moved to the United States, and it is a whole shock for him. Like, he just came from speaking Mandarin or Chinese with, a whole bunch of kids over in China, and now he's in the U.S. and he's like, he's American. He's like, but it's just different because I've been over here doing all this for so long. It's like trying to shock me back into getting back into the States. So, like he's not as comfortable in the States as he is in China, where he can learn Kung Fu and be able to excel in all of that, which he really wants to do. So they move, he goes and he's like wandering around. He wants some pizza. So he goes into this pizza place and he's like, hey, do y'all make stuffed crust? And the girl who was at the counter actually happens to be Mia, the daughter of the Joshua Jackson guy that I was talking about. Okay. So she's like, yeah, no, we don't do stuffed crust. We only do, this kind of pizzas. Like, stuffed crust is commercial. Like, we're not going through all that. She was like, what else can I get you, stuffed crust? And then that became his nickname, stuffed crust. And then as he's talking to her more, she starts giggling, and the father is over there with the pizza in the oven, and he just turns around slow like, is my daughter flirting? Like that face is like, what is even happening? And then, she's like, come back in a few minutes and then your stuff will be ready. And he looks at her, he's like, was that flirting? She was like, no, I was actually just customer service. Maybe you should try it sometimes because I'm the only person that's running this building. Like, she immediately just flips the script. Yeah. But I see where she's coming from because her father was also a boxer, and he had a lot of issues with gambling, and him being a boxer, he would either throw the fight or win the fight.
Gotcha.
And I guess it got to the point where it ate him up, and he won a fight that he was supposed to have thrown. And now he owes some people some money. And some of that money might be in the pizza restaurant that he has. So that's a storyline that's right there. So we got multiple storylines going in this, okay? You got the boy, Lee, and his mom. His mom doesn't want to fight, but he wants to fight. You got Lee and his uncle, where he's like, yo, you are teaching me everything, and you think that I'm really good at this. I should continue. So we have that storyline of that relationship. Okay. So now the relationship between Lee and Mia. And then also the relationship that you have with Mia's dad. What is his name? Victor. So now it's going to be all of these relationships that Lee has in this movie. And every single one actually ties in together, but yes and no. They can all tie in together, but not in a pretty little bow. It'd be pretty full. But now Victor is like, you know what? He has some problems with the people that he owes money to. And as he's talking to Lee outside, these guys come up and start harassing Victor.
Of course.
Now, Lee's walking away as he hears the guys arguing with Victor. So he's kind of like turning around to see what's happening. And then Lee comes and he starts fighting, showing straight up Kung Fu, everything. So now Victor was like, yo, how did you even do that?
Yeah, right.
You're a kid. And then he was like, hey, I want you to teach me how I can do some of that so I can get better at boxing. Teach me, steps, movements, and things like that. And he was like, yeah, my mom doesn't want me fighting. So now that whole storyline is now, how is he going to have his time between being able to go to school, secretly practice the Kung Fu or karate, and train this guy, but he likes his daughter, so now he's like, well, if I do this, then that means I get to hang out with his daughter. That's kind of cool. But what ends up happening is he gets so into it that Mia's kind of like, so y'all are just hanging out again together. Like, this is what's happening. Okay, that's cool. No, it's fine. You're just hanging out with my dad. You're not a teenager hanging out with the old man. That's not weird at all. Yeah. But it keeps going down into the movie where you then see that Mia has an ex-boyfriend, Connor. Connor is a little butthole.
Of course.
The entire booty hole is what he is.
Okay.
So with Connor sees Mia and Lee out at like a fair. Yeah, it's like a county fair. He sees them out together. He don't like that. So now he's like, okay, no, not at the fair. That's not where he saw them out at. He saw them out together, like just kikiing somewhere, like from a distance, across the street.
They kiki?
Yeah, yeah, they were just like giggling and
meet cute.
Sure, but so Connor's across the street and he sees that. He doesn't like that. So then what does he do? He sees him on the subway and now he wants to fight Lee. Lee's like, I don't want to do this. And then Lee's like, bro, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah,
Connor's like, yeah. Connor's like, no, you're going to fight me. No, you're going to fight me. No, you're going to fight me. And then he hits Connor in the face. And then some other things happen. And now it's like, oh, no, now I have to get into this competition so I can beat up Connor officially. Okay. Instead of me beating him up in like a...
On the street.
Yeah, on the street.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I don't want to get arrested. So if we have a referee, then he will stop it. So now how is he supposed to do that while keeping it from his mother?
Gotcha.
How is he supposed to sign up for something, keep it from his mother, that he signed up for it, while also training? But then also you're training the other guy too, and you got school, and you're like 16.
That's a lot.
That's a lot on the kid. That's a lot of pressure. And he does feel the pressure, so he gets into like this kind of like semi-depressed state where he's down and hard on himself. His uncle calls him. He looks at the phone. He's like, I don't even want to talk to him because I feel some type of way about myself right now. So what happens? Jackie Chan comes over to the United States.
Jackie.
It's like, boy, like he came over like, you are not going to not answer my phone calls and think I'm going to be okay with this.
So I came all the way
over here to see what's going on with you, because if we talk all the time, what has changed? I don't like that. Yeah. So then he gets there and he's like, okay.
Like if somebody says, I got to put my eyes on you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now the kid and Jackie are together. The mother comes in the house and she's like, oh, great. Now what is it? He flew you over here. He got you to come over here with us because he wants to fight. And he was like, no, actually, I just came to surprise you both. You know, I want to spend some time, and I have an old friend here that I want to go see, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone type thing. And then as him and Lee start to talk, then it's like Lee is telling him everything that is happening. And while he's doing that, Jackie Chan is like, okay, well, look, we got to go see my friend. So let me go and get a ticket so we can go see my friend. So they're walking all around and everywhere. They end up at Mr. Miyagi's house.
Wow.
You end up at Mr. Yes. So they end up at Mr. Miyagi's house. Once they get there, they walk in, and then the guy, what's his name? Ralph. I can't remember his name on the, what's his name? Danny. Danny LaRusso.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So now Danny's like, oh my God, it's such
Ralph Macchio, right? Isn't it?
Ralph
Macchio, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Danny, I think I put it together. Okay, anyway.
Macchio, yeah. All right, so now he is like, oh my God, like I've heard so much about you, like Mr. Miyagi used to talk about his friend that was such a great kung fu legend and like so good at what he does. And he was like, Mr. Miyagi has mastered the craft of karate and you have mastered the craft of kung fu. And then you two together would be a force to reckon with, and how, you know, good of friends you all were. Just like, you knew that if you needed something, I would be there. That's how they were friends. And Jackie Chan's like, yeah, he was a good guy. So look, this is what I need from you. I need you to come to such and such. What was it? I think they're coming to New York. I need you to come to New York.
And where is Mr. Miyagi at?
Mr. Miyagi's dead.
I mean,
it's been 90
I was talking about
years.
his place. I'm sorry.
L.A.
Okay, that's why I was trying to figure out where his
I believe his place was in L.A.
Okay, sorry. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I believe so. From what I remember, I feel like it was L.A. Okay. Anyway, he's like, yeah, I want you to come.
All the way across the country. Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, seriously, I can't just drop everything and fly out to, come over there. And he was like, what do you even need me to do? He was like, oh, I got this kid. He's really good at, He has a competition in a week and we just got to tighten him up. He was like, how am I going to train a kid in a week? What I had to learn in a whole summer. Like how...
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jackie Chan's, he's like, no, I can't do that. And Jackie Chan's like, okay, yeah, I'll see you then. Thank you so much, buddy. I can't believe that you're going to do this. And he starts walking away. He was like, no.
Not doing it.
Like,
right.
I can't do this. And he was like, and you know what? Yeah, see you then. Look, we're going to have an amazing time. I can't wait till you get over there. Thank you again. Thank you again. He's like, and you just see him stand there. I was like, man, he just talked you into going.
That's weird. Reverse psychology?
Exactly. So now it's gone into them two trying to get Lee together so he would be able to win this match.
Something. It wasn't like Danny, where Danny
but Danny didn't know that Lee knew anything. He just said this kid's good. Like, you know. This kid has potential. That's what it was. I need you to teach him karate because he's fighting with another karate kid.
But he needs
he has potential. Yeah. But he was like, I didn't know that's what you meant by he has potential. Like,
that's good
he just did a butterfly kick and like broke 3 boards. Like, okay, something like that. Good. Yeah. So now he's like, okay, we could definitely do that. So now, you know, it's just like a normal Karate Kid movie. You go through the fights. The movie's over, but then how does it end? Mm-hmm. Does it end on a good note or does it end on a bad note? Mm-hmm. Because don't forget, there's still a mom. Mom ain't having it.
Mom is
I ain't losing another baby to them streets, to them fights. Mm-hmm. So, but yes, fantastic movie, very good, good family movie.
All right,
good family movie. I think that how everything was put together, it gives you a lot of bits and pieces of that whole Karate Kid world. Like, you know, the Marvel universe is like the Karate Kid universe. Because it's basically like that same kind of, I'm big and bad and tough and machos, but I'm also a bully. And then I'm going to pick on this kid. But now I realize I picked on the wrong kid because this kid knows some stuff. And now we're about to fight. And now I got to figure out what I'm going to do type thing. So, you know, that is that macho, I guess, ego.
Yeah.
That they have with that. But fantastic. I really love how it is Karate Kid with Jackie Chan Kung Fu.
Yeah.
That is the amazing part. Okay. When I watched it, I said, oh my God, he's moving like Jackie Chan. I was so excited. I was like, oh, look, and he just flipped. Oh, he kicked him in the face when he flipped. Like, it was, I was like, oh my God, I love this. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like watching watching a young Jackie Chan.
Yeah. So he was doing all the stuff that Jackie Chan doesn't do anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, Jackie Chan is.
I mean, he still does some
He's still
stuff,
fighting. But I mean, he's in his 80s.
Like Beyonce with Blue Ivy. You know, it's like Blue Ivy was really the dancer of the concert.
Yeah,
the show, and Beyonce was like, okay, I'm going to give you something.
Yeah, exactly.
But Blue Ivy's really put your eyes on her. She's
exactly. This is the one that she wanted to do this. You can pay attention to her. Right. Yeah, but I liked it. All right, so that's what I had. Karate Kid Legends on Netflix.
All right.
Wait, excellent. I believe it was on Netflix. Hold on, let me double check. No. Yes, Netflix.
All
right, what do you have? Sorry, I took up a lot of time talking about that. It was a lot of passion in it because it's so good. It's going to be the rest of the time?
It might be the rest
It is. Let's go. Let me get my notes out right now.
We both watched this. We didn't talk about it, but I know we both watched it.
Yes.
And based on it being Netflix #1.
Yes.
Maybe everybody's watching
I'm sure.
But it is Monster.
Yes.
The Ed Gein story.
Let me tell you, God. I wanted to stop watching it, but couldn't.
Because you were repulsed,
yet
intrigued.
But then it was like, I'm going to have nightmares. I didn't have nightmares, but I'm like...
it's scary.
It's not even scary.
I mean,
it is gory because it's the reality of, oh my God, this is really actually what one person did.
Okay, so let's give you a little backstory.
Yeah, the backstory.
She just kind of jumped in a little bit. But, so, I can't believe we did not know who Ed was. So
At all.
I mean, he is so
maybe you know what? Maybe it's that other people know who he is, but maybe we just don't know who he is. Maybe different communities know who he is.
I think I'll put it this way. People who, I'm assuming, this is all assumption, people who studied serial killers.
Yeah, true crime.
Yeah. And things of that nature probably have to know.
Yeah. You have to know.
Is because
shout out to Gam Gam who knew everything about this man.
That's so crazy. Yeah. And so it is basically, he is the start if you want to think of it from that perspective of a serial killer.
Yes, he is.
He is the very first serial killer that anyone has ever. Well, and you can't even.
But they said before Jack the Ripper.
Right, but here's the thing. It's like you have to figure out. I mean, I'm sure. Let me put it this way. I'm sure that there were. I can't even
get it out, right?
All right, so I am sure there were people who killed multiple people in the 1800s or something like that. Yeah. So I guess of modern times, let's say it that way. He is.
Yeah, that's what I said. They said since Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, yeah, because it's like this. And we still don't know how many people he killed.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't just a serial killer, he was a grave robber.
Yes.
And the first I'm aware of being that type of grave robber. I mean, I know you've had like people robbing Egyptian graves and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I know about people robbing graves to steal
jewelry, things of that nature. No, he was stealing physical bodies.
Yeah, he was stealing people.
Ed Gein, he had this personality that was extremely like almost childlike when he would talk.
Yeah, he was
and he was just I don't know.
He was mentally ill.
Yes, he was mentally ill, but also like I was listening to some other things because I went down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, he had some disorders.
They were just basically saying that he had like an understanding of a child. Also.
Yeah. He always wanted to hang out around kids. He felt most comfortable with children.
Yes, because he was a babysitter.
Yes, but it was like he's in his head he's young and innocent. And like, and the children are young and innocent, so therefore it's like, I can understand you.
Yeah, and I like to play and run in the woods and dig up stuff, just like kids do. Which the parents didn't know that digging up stuff might have meant graves.
Yeah.
However, okay, I got to get my brain together for Ed Gein. So, all right, so Ed lived with his mother. And I guess his brother. However, his brother had left to go and run off with this woman. He finally came back, and him and Ed had words in regards to that because he's like, look, mom is not well. Their mom was really a religious fanatic, meaning everything was.
She was holier than everyone.
Everybody.
She was holier than Jesus.
Probably, yes.
In her head.
In her head, everything was terrible. Everything was wrong. Every woman was a whore.
She's a harlot. She's Pandora, and you need to leave alone her box.
Diseases and STDs and da-da-da. Like, everything was that, and it was like, no. But yet, she was still extremely evil to her son. So she would always be like, only a mother could love you. And for some reason, that made him smile every single time she said that.
Because he was slower, so he thought
that meant
that you will love me forever, no matter what.
Right, exactly. But that's not
what it means. Yeah, that's like somebody taking "bless your heart" as thank you. That means so much.
Me.
And it's like, no, I'm trying to say you need to go sit down somewhere.
Yes, and so his mom would say the worst things to him. Who are you? And like, as my son, you're the worst thing. Da da da. Yeah. Like she would just go on and on and on.
Well, she said, I got a runaway and one that's what she said?
That's going to send us all to hell or something. The son that was a runaway.
Yeah, the son that's a runaway that's going to send us all to hell, and then got one that doesn't have the good sense to something.
Yeah,
she was putting them down.
Yes.
She puts them down.
Even in one scene, very early on in the series, he for some reason liked to put on his mom's underwear, and he had on her bra and her panties, I guess you would say, and then he was doing some things to himself, and his mom walked in on it and then made him come out totally naked, stand in front of her, and she just like threw the Bible at him.
Basically.
And so
tongue lashing through the Bible.
And so, therefore, that he went through a lot. I don't know if he was always mentally ill and slower, or if it was the way in which his mother raised him, with her being challenged.
Then also the father was beating.
And the father, who was extremely abusive.
Yeah, he was beating them and his wife.
Exactly, because
until his wife fought back.
So it was a lot of things that went into how Ed became who Ed is. So with that, Ed had this I don't know what you want to call it, but this, this is how it started. So he ended up getting a comic book from a female. So I didn't even go through the cast.
You did gotta go through the cast. You gotta see where the female came from.
Because you were like, let me tell you, and then I totally
Sorry. All right, well, while you're pulling up the cast, let me go ahead and say that he did have a female suitor.
Yes, a female friend.
Yes. And it was kind of weird because it was like he was
It's Adeline.
Yeah,
Adeline Watkins was who his female friend was, who was Susanna's son. So that's his female friend. Let me start. So Ed is played by Charlie Hunnam, who did he should win probably an Emmy or something.
Yeah. He did really good for it.
He did really good. You lost track that it was even him, as cute as he is. And you were just like, oh, he's a serial killer. So you really believed it. Now, Laurie Metcalf, you know her from Roseanne's sister. She played Augusta Gein, so that was his mom. You had Susanna, I mentioned, was the kind of girlfriend throughout. You have Alfred Hitchcock in here. We'll tell you why in a moment.
Yes.
But that was Tom Hollander. He also played, I think, Capote for them, or like just different.
Yeah, he's played. Yeah, I think he did play Capote.
Yeah, because all of this is Ryan Murphy. Also, by the way, the whole Monster series. You had Tyler Jacob Moore, who played the sheriff. So Sheriff Shaley. You had you had Leslie Manfield, who played Bernice, I think it was Workman. And then her son was the deputy. So he was, or Wordham, I'm sorry. And that was Charlie Hall, who played Deputy Wordham. You had Anthony Perkins in here as well, as somebody playing him. And that was Joey Polari. You had Vicky Krebs, who played Elsie Koch, who was a German woman that I'll get into in a moment as well, because that's why I said this one.
Yeah, because this takes place in the 40s, so this is taking place during World War II.
Yes, exactly.
While the Nazis while all of this is happening, and people being like, "Wait, they're really doing this?" Like. Yep. Are we believing that this is being done, or are we listening to what they're saying? It's like, no, it's not as bad as it seems.
Right, exactly.
Because they were telling America it's not as bad as it seems,
but then people, they're not doing that. And then I'm like, oh my gosh.
And then it's like, to
not even know what's going on. Mean, it's right now.
But that's what it is.
If it wasn't for TikTok, we wouldn't know what was going on in the world. So there's still that. You have, I'm going to say, Adeline's mom was played by Robin Wiggert, and you've seen her before, but she played Enid Watkins. And so anyway, it's a cast of different folks. And so when you think about it, you had Charlie, well, I guess you had Ed and his mom, Augusta. You had where he had a girlfriend who was Adeline. You have that she presented him with a comic book.
Yes.
That was about...
Well, it was a comic book and pictures. Pictures from her cousin who was in the military.
And took some photos.
Yeah, who was a nurse. No. Her cousin was dating a boy in the military, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he sent the pictures to her, trying to show how,
what's going on over there.
What's happening, and, this is how important I am, that I'm stopping this. Yeah. And he's trying to impress her, and she's like, oh my God, like, this is really happening. And she tells her cousin, is like, oh, I'm fascinated by this.
Yes,
this is
she was fascinated by death. Adeline.
This is amazing. And then she tells Ed, she was like, only you would appreciate what's in this box because we're both weird.
Yeah, we're both weird, you and I, in this town.
Yeah.
And so, which was in Wisconsin. And so basically what ends up happening is that Ed sees these photos of what's going on with the concentration camps, and this lady who is basically using the skin of the prisoners and making, or of the dead, I guess, and is making lampshades and different kinds of things. Like, just a lot of different things.
Whatever. There's a belt. It was a nipple belt. It was a lot of, it was just, if there was skin and she admired the skin, she would make something out of it.
Right, exactly. Some of the skin even had the numbers on it.
Because her husband was a corporal or something like that. He was somebody big in the Nazi army.
Right. And so she ended up getting captured, and they shaved her head and they put her in jail, and all of these things happened with her. But Ed actually was fantasized about her because of the fact that he was fascinated by what he saw and what she did.
Yeah.
And from what they stated in the movie later was that experience kind of broke him, meaning that his childlike brain could not process what was going on, that it was real, that this was a bad thing.
He couldn't wrap his head around it.
Yeah, so although he couldn't process it, and him being fascinated by it, he started to think, well, if she can do that, I can do that.
Yeah,
so
I
how
have
do
to.
I go about making
how
my
does she
own
do that?
lampshade? How do I go about making my own chairs? How do I go about making my own
bowl?
Things? Right, exactly.
Ashtray.
So Ed goes on this path without his girlfriend knowing initially, of kind of, I guess, really it was more about the grave robbing, although there are some deaths in there as well.
Yeah.
The only ones that I believe that they could prove that he murdered were, well, I don't know if I should say.
It was inconclusive. Everything.
Well, yeah, everything was, but he did end up going to an insane asylum because of the fact that he was not, I mean, you kind of can put that together, that he wasn't going to be fit to stand trial. And so what ends up happening, it's like you got to talk about it, but then you don't want to spoil it for people. So it's really tough to talk about. But let's just say this. They pretty much put together that there were probably about 200 different body parts in his house.
Yeah.
And they think that at the most he may have only killed 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the others were all grave robbing, bringing bodies in, bringing parts of bodies in. He did this thing with kids that he was babysitting where he actually had bowls. You know how you would do the shell game. Well, bowls in his house were skulls.
Yes.
That he ended up, cutting and then making half of the head, the crown of the head.
Yeah,
basically
the cranium is the bowl.
The bowl
like,
that
Mom,
he would eat out
Mother,
of.
have you seen my bowl?
Right.
My special bowl. You
Yeah,
haven't
and
seen
that's how
it?
he would
Oh,
talk.
there it is. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how he talks. So you knew that he was not all mentally there. Now,
Yes.
after watching this, I went down a deep dive on a documentary of him. He was schizophrenic,
Yes.
like borderline. Well, no, he was personality
Personality disorder for sure. We're going to talk about that in
he
a
has.
second, too.
He has a lot of things going with him. His brain wasn't. His brain had to have things happen in order for him to understand it, but he never saw them wrong in anything that he did.
It's almost like his brain fractured.
Yes,
Like
and then the schizophrenia actually helped to mask some of the things that he did mentally to himself. So the schizophrenia part of him would be like, "Oh, that's not what actually happened," and now this person is up and walking around.
Yeah.
And this person is absolutely fine.
Yeah, but
So
they're
what just
really
happened is nothing. But then later on, it's like, oh my God, wait, this person is laying here. Like, oh wait, they're dead. Like, how are they dead? You were just fine a second ago. No, that's the
and
schizophrenia.
Who did that to
you?
you?
Who did that?
And it's like you did that to them.
Yeah.
So it's wild. And that's the thing, because in his mind, when they question him about things, he's like, I can't say that I did.
Yeah.
I can't stand to say that I would.
Yeah.
I don't believe that I did. And then they do a polygraph, and lo and behold, did he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like in his mind,
because that's the thing. He's like, I can't say that I did because I didn't do that.
yeah, I don't remember doing that.
That's like
I
that's
don't recall.
No.
Yeah,
Because
maybe I'm being set up. Maybe this is happening. Maybe it's this. Maybe
why are you saying that it's me? I don't understand. I'm just a nice guy that's in the town.
So then we get into, with Ed, all of the movies and serial killers and other people who found out about him and therefore were like, oh, I idolize him, or they wanted to make movies about him. So to start, because of Ed not only dressing up in his mom's clothes and trying to preserve a body after his mom passed away to look like his mom.
Yes.
And having her in a rocking chair right at the window. And y'all all know what movie this is from.
Yeah.
Basically, Alfred Hitchcock was informed of Ed's story and created Psycho.
Sure did.
Based on Ed Gein.
Ed Gein is Norman Bates.
Which is why Anthony Perkins, when I went through the list, that's why Anthony Perkins has a place in this, show, is because of the fact that they were just like, oh yeah, we need somebody to play this role. And at the time, Anthony Perkins being gay, he was not out. Because I didn't know for years and years and years that he was gay. And so therefore they ended up saying, well, he had a peculiarness about him. He had something that was, I forgot what the word was that they used. But anyway, they were like, and you know something about that. You know something about, being peculiar or whatever the word is that they used. And having a secret that you don't want to get out and all of that. And so they basically talked him into doing the part, which he didn't necessarily, he wanted it at first, but then when he realized.
When he went to the set?
That's what I was going to say. When he went to the set and they had recreated the set to look exactly like Ed's home, with all of the things that his home had to include, they had bowls and parts of bodies. Let's just leave it at that. We won't, I don't even want to say
they were Pandora's boxes.
There was a lot. Let's just put it that way. It was stuff. And so once the Anthony Perkins character saw that, he was like, he got sick and he just was like, I don't think I can play this part, because you have to realize to go down a path like that as an actor, it's like mentally draining. It's challenging. It's putting you in a whole different state to be that type of person, which Charlie Hannon, I can't even say his name, but Charlie had mentioned that as well, that he had to decompress after playing Ed, because you're playing a serial killer. You're playing somebody that other people idolized, and you're like, why would they idolize this person? Yeah. And yet, you have to go back and live your life and let that character go, you know? And so, anywho, so that
it's like
movie,
your job takes over your life.
Right.
So if your job is you acting, then that means that your life is just acting. So once they say cut, you're gonna forget. Now I work with cars, and it's like we have to beep the horn so many times so everybody knows that we're driving the car. Yeah. So now when I get in my car and I'm getting ready to back out of a parking space, I'm beeping the horn. So it's like that. It's like it's going to be a whole emotion and a whole attitude and everything that you're going to automatically go into, because it's like a autopilot now.
Yep. Exactly, because you are that character sometimes 16 hours a day. Yeah. And so, so that is the situation there. So you had Psycho. We all know how that movie was, but it was literally not 100% based, but most of it was based on the true story of Ed pretending to be his mom and the whole scenario that went along with that, which is absolutely.
But you know what I thought was awesome? How they pulled so much together, because not only is the story of Ed Gein, but it's also the story of
a lot of different serial killers.
Of what Ted Bundy, Charles Manson. Whatever that guy's name.
He was only in there for like a second.
It doesn't matter. It's like, but they was still,
but they pulled him in.
But it's
a bunch of different.
It's a bunch of different things. But then also you that Alfred Hitchcock part of it. Now you have a whole storyline about Alfred Hitchcock that nobody, like, I didn't know anything about Alfred Hitchcock and stuff like that.
Like him going and sitting in the movie and seeing how people like visceral reaction to Psycho, and him like, oh, I love this. But then him also realizing after that, I don't want to keep doing that kind of gore. Even though everybody wanted him to do that kind of gore.
He's like, no, I'm gonna just like really, he's like, if I can, it's like in his mind, he's like, if I can make people cringe from a movie, then I can make people do anything from any movie. So if I have a funny movie, then people will laugh and be happy when they leave my movie. If I have a romantic movie, then people would be all cuddled up and in love from my movie. So it's like he was trying to figure out, if I can make someone do this, now I can go into this whole area. But it's like, nah, we actually over here at like Warner Brothers or Paramount or whatever, we don't want that. Come on and give us another one like Norman Bates. Give me some more Normie Norm.
Yes, exactly. And so you have that movie, but then we didn't even talk about the movie of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Correct.
That is because not only did Ed Gein rob graves,
Yes.
kill some people,
Yeah.
have sex with dead
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. He's a necrophiliac.
Yes. And that supposedly, I mean, even though she wasn't a real character truly in his life, but that is how the show depicts her saying, hey, go ahead and do that. It's fine. It's no problem.
Huh?
Like so the woman who played that, Adeline,
Adeline, yeah.
Adeline, they just like literally were not a true couple in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
So therefore, I'm saying, although the show makes it seem as
Same
though
with-
she
yeah.
was the one who gave them that idea, she would never admit.
Yeah, exactly.
She was
Yeah.
the one who gave him that
That's
idea.
true.
She was like,
Yeah.
well, we barely knew each other. And that's why I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to say, no, they really did know each other
Yeah,
more.
but she's just-
once she realized how much heat he was getting,
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, I mean, we went out roller skating once or twice. And
Yeah, but then it's also it's like, but you were a little off your rocker too.
yes.
So now we got to
exactly.
think about these
Because she had to be
these
committed
three
as well.
people that you wrote down on this piece of paper. Did they end up missing?
I know, right? Yeah, she ended up being someone who, she had some issues as well. But they're talking about like all these different real life serial killers who are like, oh, Gein, like he's the
Serial
one.
killers and movies.
Yes, and the movie. So we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's where I
Yeah.
got off track because not only was he doing all of those other things, he would take the skin off of a person
Yes.
and he would either make furniture or he would make an outfit.
Yes, he would make a suit for
He
himself.
would make a suit for himself to put himself inside a woman's body because
Yes.
it was only women.
Yes.
And he would literally like physically sew himself inside.
Correct. Like it's a suit.
skin,
A
like a
human
suit.
skin suit.
And he would put a face as a mask,
Like
over
Leatherface,
top of
which
his
is a
face,
movie that
like
was
Leatherface
made
in
about him.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that's where that whole thing
Yes.
came together. So then you have in this series the people who made Texas Chainsaw Massacre talking about Ed Gein and saying, "Hey, this is what we could do." And they're like, "Wait a minute! If we try to even do this
Yeah.
and like act like it's a face of skin, people aren't gonna give us the money for that. They're not gonna let us do it." And they're like, "It doesn't matter if they want to let us do it. We'll fund it ourselves." Like
Yeah,
they
we'll
were
do
just
it all
gonna make
ourselves,
sure
yeah.
that they did it. So then this opens up a whole world of not only from Ed Gein's story, like you said, the movies that are being created, because then they had a character that was in Silence of the Lambs that was based on him as well. And then you have all of the serial killers who were like, almost like he was with the woman who is from Germany. If she can do it, what can I do?
Exactly,
So
yeah.
now you have all these people who hear about him and they're like, well, if he can do it, what can I do? And so then you have these folks that start down this path, unfortunately. So you had like Ed Kemper, who murdered 8 girls at a college he was the college co-ed killer. So he ended up killing people just to see what it felt like in 1964. Then you had another guy, the Butcher of Kansas City. He claims that he killed people because of what he had found out about Ed Gein. You have it's just on and on and on about 8 or 9 different people who were just like Jeffrey Dahmer. He knew about him. And so he, because Ed never admitted to eating people. He never admitted to that. But when they realized him as being somebody who, when the sheriff's mom went missing, she owned the hardware store. When she went missing, all of a sudden, they go to Ed's house because that was the last person she was seen with. And they go inside and they don't even recognize like all of the things that were skin. Like even lampshades and stuff. They're like walking past it and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not even realizing like who would think that, right? As you're seeing things, you just know it's reeks in there and like something's boiling on the stove and it was a heart. So therefore, you don't know why he was boiling the heart. Was he boiling it to eat it? And if he did eat it, would he even remember? And then they even talked about people who got venison from him, but yet he says he never hunted.
Yeah.
Never.
When he went to that
hunted.
family, there was at a family over for like a Sunday dinner or something like that.
He was like, "Oh, let me take you some venison."
And they're like, "Oh man, this is so good. Oh, you're
now,
eating
I don't know
somebody."
this cut of meat.
Yeah.
That's what the woman said, and then it's like,
So, yeah.
But yeah, so that's just it's so much.
Yeah, it's so much.
You have because you have the Alfred Hitchcock lines of the story.
Yeah.
You have the Adeline line of the story of her leaving Wisconsin,
going
and
to
the
New York.
craziness that goes on with her. You have, of course, Ed's line of the story. You have the gentleman whose mom owned the hardware store and what happens with him with his whole story.
Oh, you get the story of the German lady.
You get the story of the German lady, the Nazi, and what's going on, with her. And then, the ending was different because for me, I'm like, are they trying to make you sympathetic to this serial killer? Are they trying to make you wish that someone who, this is what I think I'm putting together, is that he had schizophrenia, right?
Yes.
And personality disorders and
And
all
he
of
had,
that.
what was it? She was a xenophile and a necrophile and
And the murderer.
yeah.
And all of
And a
those
grave
things.
digger.
Yeah. So with all the things, I almost took it as though they were like, but once they discovered what was wrong with him, and once they were able to get him properly medicated, he was okay.
Yeah.
He was normal. He
Yeah.
was a regular person
Yeah.
who then even went to the nurses and was like, oh, yeah, then you have the story with him and the nurse.
Yeah, the nurses,
That's a whole other
yeah.
well, both of the nurses. But then it was like, he's like, I need to get out of here. Like, it's too many crazy people in here. I got to get out of here. They're like, you can't get out of here. Like, you literally
You just kill people,
had
bro.
200 body parts in your house. There's no way they would ever let you out. And if they did let him out, they would just put him in a regular prison.
Yeah.
Like, he would have never gone to any other type of prison. So yeah, it's a lot. Like, the ending, I just felt like was waves. It was like, are they trying to say he's good, but then something? And then,
what I took it was him not really understanding how bad all of his actions were because because it's to him it's a learning process.
See, I didn't even take it that he didn't understand. I took it by the end. He understood what he had done. And that's why he was trying to make things right.
Well, see, I don't think. Well, okay. Well, I mean, like, I don't think that he understood what was going on because if you pull up to your house, there's a bunch of police everywhere.
No, I'm not.
And they're in your
that's
house.
That's not the end.
No. I'm not. Oh, no. But I'm saying, but that's where I'm going off of. Is like that he wasn't.
But that's before medication.
Oh, you're talking about after the medication? Okay, I thought you were saying because it built up to where he had said that he wanted to do something. Doctor, help me. Yeah. He said, "Help me! I hear a devil. I see the devil who's in the ceiling.
Yeah,
and he's
thought
making
somebody here like that.
But like it's making me want to do bad things, and I don't want to do bad things. Right. I need help." And he's sitting there crying and like tearing up because I think that was his realization of, oh, I did do all this bad stuff, but it's not me. It was a voice telling me to do it, which is part of the schizophrenia.
Right. Oh, and then we had the transsexual storyline, and there was a lot of different things.
Yeah, because he fell in love with Christine Jorgensen after Adeline. I think that he had a infatuation.
Yeah.
With her, okay, yeah. But her
I
being.
think he was envious of Christine. I can't talk.
I don't think he was envious.
No, because I think she was able to be a woman out and about where he had to hide that. That's what I took it as. Like he had to put on the fake skin and only dance around in his yard because nobody would ever see him and all these kind of things. But he didn't feel like he could actually be out and about and free, dressed as a woman. So that's where I felt like that's where he was looking at her like, wow, somebody can do that.
Okay, but I thought it was just I thought it was just he was infatuated like this is something because the next thing that he wanted to do was go dig up another body so he can put breasts on top of a man's body. Yeah. Once Adeline had showed him the information, body? He didn't do it. He had done it to be like, okay, you have to do breasts on like what she had done, what Christine Jorgensen has done, what she was doing the sex
change
Operation.
the operations.
Yeah.
But it started off with her breast. So then he was like, so you're trying to tell me, he'd asked Adeline, like, so you're trying to tell me she has breasts, but then she still has boy parts.
Yeah.
Like, she's both. And he was like, well, that's something. And like, I could see in his head, he was like, so breast on a man. So then I think that's what it was, is that he wanted to go and get the breast and put it on so he could visually see exactly
On
what-
him
on
as
it.
a man, not
Yes,
as
no,
on
no, no,
him.
no, not on any man. No. I'm just saying,
that's
but he could physically see that and then being like, okay, so now that I see it, I can understand it.
Right, because everything for him was, once I see it,
Yeah,
I try to figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, oh, I saw the lady in Germany do this. Okay, let me figure out how to do that and make
Exactly,
a link.
yeah.
Okay, now I saw the breasts on the man. Okay, let me figure out how to make breasts and put them on a man. You know,
But the
kind of-
doctor had also told him, it was like, look, he didn't say that he was transsexual. Didn't say that he was a transsexual. It said
No.
that he was a xenophile, which is that I believe xenophile, if you can look that up for me just so I can double check. But I believe xenophile is like you had something that was forbidden from you for your whole life, and it's something that you always wanted to be around, so it just pushes you to do it more. But you're trying to like hide it, and it's in a sexual
it
way.
makes it sound like it is a person who is attracted to or is it says here appreciative of something to the point that you want to kind of immerse yourself
Yes.
in that thing.
Yes. So that's what it is that when he said that when he was younger, he was dancing in his mom's shoes. Dad came, beat the hell out of him or whatever, and his mom was like, you're an abomination. So from there, it was like he just wanted to keep doing it more, because it's like, so you're telling me that I can't do this, but it feels so good and I want to keep doing it.
Right.
And I feel like that's what he was doing. And then for him to understand the whole Christine Jorgensen thing, he's like, well, now I need a body so I can put breasts on me so I can understand and see what it's like, because now I'm into
and
that.
what the doctor or Christine, depending on how you see it in the show, was telling him is that, look, it's not that you are transgender or that you are transsexual. It's that you want to possess and you want to just get into the state of, like, you just want to control women.
Yeah.
And it's almost makes you wonder if because his mom was so controlling of him, if that brain splitting stuff happened
maybe.
where he just like, no, I want to be in control.
Yeah, and
because
that's
if you think about it, he
that
said that
personality
to
disorder.
Adeline.
Yeah.
Where he was like, your mom isn't the boss of you. He was like, I should be the boss of you, or you should make me the boss of you, you know? And so therefore it's like, interesting. But I also think that Adeline was a lucky person because she was just weird enough and just on his level enough that he never felt threatened by anything that she said or did. She could have slapped him in the face. She could have done anything, I feel like, to him. And he just would have been like, I probably deserved it. You know what I mean? Like, that was their relationship, was that he would go out and probably have anger, and it showed he had anger against other people. But with her, for some reason, it was like, no, I don't have it with you, because we're kindred spirits.
Yeah,
I guess,
exactly.
when you think
You're the
about
only
it.
person that understands me.
Right. And she, I think, had no capacity to love anybody or anything. Like, I think that
she was also raised similar to him, where her mother was putting her down all the time. But I think that with her, she had this. What you said? You said that she was lucky. I don't think that she was lucky with anything. I think that it was just that she was trying to find somebody who was not all there that she could just be herself with, because it's like, this is the one thing that we have in common.
Right. Well, I'm just saying from a perspective, I guess I just felt like it was luck, because he could have easily turned on her when she said, I want to go to New York. And he could have been like, no, you can't leave me. You can't go to New York. Like, you are all that I have here. So if it's not you, it's nothing. And
the ice bath scene, I knew it was going to happen. I was like, nope, Nope.
Yeah, that's
nope.
something.
She needs ice. She needs ice. That's
a
its
whole
own. Yep,
other,
it ain't gonna happen.
situation.
That was a thing, and I was just like, what am I watching? It gave me the salt burned slurping the water out the bottom of the tub feeling.
100%. I was getting ready to say it, but I couldn't think of the name of the show. Saltburn.
So it gave me that for sure. But I will say this. So what the end whole thing is that you were saying that you feel like they were trying to make it seem like he was softer or something like that? Or
well,
like that
no, I was saying, or was it that Ryan Murphy was trying to make it so that you had some level of sympathy or empathy?
Okay,
for
yeah,
Eddie?
yeah. I could see that. I also think that it's
like it wasn't his fault because he was not properly raised, taken care of, medicated, seen psychiatrists, like until he got
they turned him into a
regimen
human
of
being
that.
and not a monster.
Right. So
Just but he does that with all of his things, where it's like monster, but then he gives you the. Do you know the backstory? Like you can't tell what somebody's been through unless you've been in their shoes their entire life. So, but I do like the very end. I like how it was, as he was going down the hallway or whatever, him passing by all the people who were like people who were infatuated with him and were cheering him on. So then it was like he still when he was dying, he didn't feel alone. Right. He had the most love ever, but he had the love.
Series though. So when you think about it, because they had the series of when he was going through that experience, and he said, I get letters from people I don't want to get letters from.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go back into that.
Right, but that's the thing. So as I thought he was dying the first time, it was all those people who were admiring him and loved him, Birdman and all these different people, and you'll find out about Birdman too. But all these different people, and it's like, but these aren't the people that I want to admire me. So it was like you felt like, okay, he's going to hell because he's got all these serial killers who are admiring him, and he's sitting there looking at him. He's not smiling, nothing. He's just sitting there like, ugh, like, yeah, okay, thank you for the accolades, but like this isn't the attention I want. These letters that you send me are the letters that I want. And then later it's like, oh, now is he seeing a light? I'm like, how is he seeing a light?
Yeah. It's like, but it's like, I still feel like it's like he's just not alone. He's not alone. That's what I feel like. He just didn't die alone.
Yeah.
Die lonely because basically he was alone. He was in an insane asylum by himself.
Right.
With a whole bunch of people that were also crazy. So it's like he was hit on his own.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was like his good night tuck-in.
Oh, so I looked up what it was, and we did talk the rest of the episode
I knew it was
about
going to
this.
happen.
But yeah, I mean, this thing, when I tell you, we covered some stuff. So we probably should have said,
nowhere near what we didn't explain
bit,
any of the actions that happened.
If you watch it, you're still going to be like, what? Like they held back on so much, and it feels like
we held back on everything. But when you see it, you're going to be like, I might have to go and walk outside and get some sun for a second.
It is deep. It is something that you have to decompress from, because I had to. A lot of times I don't have to. When other people say, oh, I had to decompress from that.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm just like, no, I just plowed right through it. No problem. You know,
I think it's because I feel like it's a true story.
Yeah.
This is a real person, and now are other people going to try to do this? But then I told you before, I was like, we live in a society that wants everything instantly. Everybody's too lazy to be a serial killer. You know how much thought it was put into that?
Well,
you
to not
think
get caught, And
but
today you would get caught because they didn't have DNA back then. They didn't have, and nobody would even look.
And everybody
at him
has a cell phone that's going to ping your last location or whatever.
He killed one person supposedly. I don't even know if he did that in real life, but I think that was one of the ones he did kill in real life. But anyway, and the guy was like, "Oh, not Ed. He was the last person I saw like drive up in his truck." But he couldn't have been Ed. Like, no, Ed town kid. Like, what are we talking about?
He's the nicest guy. His truck was here, but no.
Yeah, it couldn't have been
Ed. Like, what are you talking about?
And it's like, or could it have been? But it does say here that it does not, there is no evidence that Gein engaged in necrophilia in real life. So there are things that were sensationalized, like his relationship with Adeline, supposedly sensationalized, necrophilia sensationalized, him and the store owner sensationalized. Like, there's a lot of things that did not actually, that there's no evidence or proof. And so someone who wrote a book about Ed Gein is very upset at how he was portrayed in this show, because of the fact that it's like, y'all made him out so much worse than what he actually was. And I'm like, but he was a bad dude, so it's not much worse. You can make out somebody who was taking skin off of people and making chairs. Yeah. And making lamps and using their head as bowls, because all that stuff was true.
I mean, you know what? I wonder if his mind, he was just like, well, we do this with animals all the time. What is leather?
Well, and he kind of explained that to somebody that way. Like, he was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, all animals have nipples.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's like,
okay.
I don't understand.
Well, this part I can't tell you about because we didn't even get into this part, so never mind. Okay. But, yeah, so.
It's good. Look at it.
Good.
But just be aware that this is something that actually happened. So if you are a person who is going to take in things like, oh my God, this is going to freak me out because this person was actually walking down the streets of Wisconsin or whatever. Like, this was an actual person. This is not a movie. This is a documentary, a docuseries, a dramatizational docuseries.
Real.
So, so just always remember that, like, this is all amped up a lot, but this is some actions that he did do.
And it actually, the word is gynophiliac, not xenophiliac. So that is a sexual orientation in which a person is attracted to femininity or people who identify as women regardless of their own gender or sexual identity.
Yes.
And so it says here, that this is a person that it's not tied to anything other than being
but if that one
and gynophiliac, which is a term that it's attracted to the femininity of women, and it is a scientific classification. I'm trying to see what they're saying that is. A gynophiliac versus a gynosexual. So there's,
I mean, I can understand that because the guy who was in prison who sent him stuff, I can't remember his last name, Spectre or something like that. Last name was with an S.
Yes, that's the one that was like, oh, I can't even talk about that.
Yeah, but that guy, when he was like, oh, so you like this? Okay, so
Let me send you something.
I'm going to send you this, and you're going to look at this, and you're going to be so enthralled that this is now going to make you want to talk to me. Right. This is now going to make you want to be my pen pal, but it did not, because now he was on a medication, and he's trying to not hear that devil voice anymore. The devil voice and all those actions and things that he was seeing was actually not his reality, and now he's realizing that, and he's not happy with himself, I guess.
Yeah,
but
so it's
good. I like it.
It was
I like it.
A very good, terrible series. In regards to terrible because of what you had to watch and endure and see, because you're like, oh my God, this actually happened.
We need to rename it from horror to gore.
It was,
because it was gory.
Ooh, child, y'all are in for something when you watch this one. So on that note, that's it for this week's episode of
Sestra-Tainment.
I hope you all have an amazing week.
Yep.
Watch out for yourself and others.
Right.
Take care, everybody. Bye.